It's week 16 NFL review time, you sexy bastards. Let's go. Tennessee versus San Francisco. The gods blessed us with a Thursday night appearance from the beautiful and handsome Jimmy Garoppolo. Unfortunately, though, it was a deception, as Jimmy G's team lost and he played subpar. Anyway, San Fran jumped out to a 10-0 lead at halftime before Tennessee woke up and rallied with 17 unanswered points, capped off with an 18-yard touchdown pass from Ryan Tannehill to A.J. Brown with 13 minutes left. Jimmy G had a bad night, but he still had a great 95-yard clutch drive, capped off with a 2-yard touchdown pass to Brandon Ayuk to tie the game at 17 with 2:20 left. Unfortunately, the super jealous and much less attractive Titans players were able to set up kicker Randy Bullock, who has a, let's just say, very curious-looking mustache, with a game-winning 44-yard field goal attempt to win the game 20-17. I'm still not emotionally over Jimmy G losing this game. If he needs somebody to give him a back rub to feel better, I volunteer. Green Bay versus Cleveland. What an incredibly awkward yet exciting game this turned out to be. Cleveland struck first on a Nick Chubb touchdown run. Then 2021 MVP Aaron Rodgers responded with 2 straight touchdown passes, put Green Bay up 14-6. Cleveland answered back with a touchdown but missed a 2-point conversion to make it 14-12. Then Rodgers added a 3rd touchdown pass with 12 seconds left in the first half to Devontae Adams to take a 21-12 halftime lead. Green Bay extended that lead to 24-12 with 9:12 left in the third, but then basically did nothing offensively the rest of the way and depended on their defense not fucking up. Speaking of Green Bay's defense, they picked Angry Bagel boss Mayfield off 4 times, but gave up 408 yards of offense and 219 yards rushing. This allowed Cleveland to have a chance to win at the very end, but around midfield with 50 seconds left needing only a field goal to win, Mayfield threw his final interception to seal the win for Green Bay. This Green Bay season feels like every other season since 2011. Rodgers remains phenomenal, but Green Bay's defense and special teams are not trustworthy, and you're just waiting for them to fuck up. Oh well, enjoy the 1 seed again, I guess. Indianapolis versus Arizona. Sure, the Cardinals have now fallen to 10-5 after starting out 7-0, but I don't want to hear any Cliff Kingsbury slander. Do you know how hard it is to be famous and handsome, especially in a state with women as generous as Arizona? Anyway, the Colts have proven they are legit at pretty much every spot besides quarterback. It's honestly hilarious listening to announcers tiptoe around the fact that they'll win a lot of games as long as Carson Wentz doesn't fuck it up for them. In this one, they went up 7-0 on a Wentz touchdown pass, then took a 12-6 halftime lead. Arizona retook the lead 13-12 in the third off of a Kyler Murray touchdown pass, but Indy kicked a field goal to take a 15-13 lead into the fourth. The dagger happened with 6:37 left when Wentz found Desmond Patman for a touchdown to take a 9-point lead. Arizona would cut the lead to 22-16 with 42 seconds left, but the onside kick failed and ended the game. So sad. Atlanta versus Detroit. How can you not get horny thinking about a game between Atlanta and Detroit? This was a real doozy. Not really, but just go along with it, please. Detroit had a 3-0 lead after 1, then Cordero Patterson ran for a touchdown to give Atlanta a 7-3 lead. But the infamous Tim Boyle responded with a 20-yard touchdown pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown to take a 10-7 lead. Atlanta kicked 2 field goals in a row, then Detroit kicked a field goal of their own to make this a 13-13 game heading into the fourth. Matt Ryan found Hayden Hurst for a touchdown to take a 20-13 lead with 13-10 left. Boyle then led Detroit on a 10-minute long field goal drive. Yes, field goal drive to make it 20-16 with 2:42 left. Atlanta looked to salt the game away, but Russell Gage fumbled, giving the ball back to Detroit at Atlanta's 37-yard line. Unfortunately for Detroit, Tim Boyle is dog shit, and he threw a horrible end zone interception with 39 seconds left to seal the win for Atlanta, who remains arguably the worst 7-8 team of all time. Houston versus the Chargers. It's official. The honeymoon period for Brandon Staley and Justin Herbert has worn off. That's what happens when your team falls to 8-7 and you just got your ass kicked by a terrible Houston team 41-29. LA had an early 12-7 lead in the second quarter, but Houston had a 17-12 halftime lead thanks to a 41-yard touchdown pass from Davis Mills. After cutting the lead to 17-15 with a field goal entering the fourth quarter, LA completely collapsed. No offense to the Death Star. Rex Burkhead ran for a score to give Houston a 24-15 lead. Houston kicked a field goal to make it 27-15. Then LA got a touchdown and 2-point conversion to make it 27-23 with 5:50 left. Then Davis Mills used his draft neck powers to lead a touchdown drive to give Houston a 34-23 lead with 2:32 left. The game was officially over when Herbert threw a pick 6 to make it 41-23 with 1:49 left before adding a garbage time touchdown pass to round out the scoring. I wasn't kidding about the honeymoon period part. For all the praise Herbert has gotten, he has a losing career record and he still hasn't made the playoffs yet. Is it his fault? No, but he'll get tons of backlash until he rectifies both of those situations. LA Rams versus the Vikings. Leave it up to Matthew Stafford to win a game while in an MVP conversation, yet completely lose any argument for winning it by throwing 3 interceptions in said win. That's what happened here in this 30-23 LA win over Minnesota. LA took a 7-0 lead on a Sony Michel touchdown run, then a 13-3 lead at halftime before Minnesota fought back in the third with an Alexander Madison touchdown run to make it 13-10. But then LA's Brandon Powell returned to punt 61 yards for a touchdown to go up 20-10. Minnesota added a field goal to make it 20-13 LA entering the fourth. Then Odell Beckham would poop all over Minnesota's comeback attempt with a 7-yard touchdown to make it 27-13 LA. Minnesota answered with a Kirk Cousins touchdown to make it 27-20 with 8:21 left, but LA then drained the clock and kicked a field goal to go up 30-20 with 2:05 left. Minnesota added a field goal with 36 seconds left to make it 30-23, but the onside kick failed and LA sealed the game. Cincinnati versus Baltimore. Joe Burrow should change his name to Joe Burrowed his cock in the Ravens, because that's what he did in this one, throwing for 525 yards and 4 touchdowns in a massive 41-21 win. The first quarter of this game was pretty tight, with Cincy hanging on to a 10-7 lead, but after that, all Bengals. Burrow found Tyler Boyd on a 68-yard touchdown pass to go up 17-7, and class act Joe Mixon on a 9-yard touchdown pass to make it 24-7. Baltimore added a touchdown to make it 24-14, but Burrow then found T. Higgins on a 1-yard score to make it 31-14 Cincy at halftime. The third quarter saw nothing but a Cincinnati field goal to give them a 34-14 lead entering the fourth. New Baltimore quarterback Josh Johnson, whose career history on Wikipedia is the football version of a woman telling you she's only been with 3 men before, found Mark Andrews to cut it to 34-21. But Burrow found Higgins again to go up 41-21 to round out the scoring. The Bengals are now 9-6 and the AFC isn't real. Tampa Bay versus Carolina. This was an absolute must-watch game as Tom Brady led the severely undermanned Bucs against a powerhouse Carolina team with Cam Newton and Sam Darnold at quarterback. I'm sorry. I couldn't say that with a straight face. Somehow, Brady was able to lead his team to a 32-6 road win. Wow, an absolute fucking hero he is. Carolina took a 3-0 lead early, but Brady heroically told Keyshawn Vaughn to run 55 yards for a touchdown to take a 7-3 lead after 1. Tampa had a 13-6 lead near the end of the first half when Brady found a super tightly covered Cybel Grayson for a big gain, and then absolutely threaded the needle on a touchdown pass to Cameron Brate to take a 20-6 lead into halftime. The second half was basically just garbage time with the Bucs fucking around and Carolina's quarterback shitting all over themselves. Tampa added 2 field goals and 1 Ronald Jones touchdown run to round out the scoring. Imagine being so loaded that you lose players as good as Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Leonard Fournette, and still have Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski to throw to. Tampa's going to win it all again. I don't know why anybody even bothers pretending otherwise. Eat Arby's. New York Jets versus Jacksonville. What looked like one of the worst games of the entire season on paper actually turned out to be somewhat exciting and down to the wire. Zach Wilson had a great 52-yard touchdown run early to give New York a 6-3 lead after 1. Jacksonville recovered a Trevor Lawrence fumble for a touchdown to go up 9-6, but then first-team all-daughter dater Braxton Berrios returned to kick off 103 yards to give New York a 13-9 lead. New York took a 13-12 lead into halftime and a 16-15 lead into the fourth quarter, where things got very sexy. Wilson threw a touchdown, a very rare sight, to give New York a 23-15 lead with 9:16 left. But Jacksonville responded with a touchdown of their own, but missed the 2-point conversion to make it 23-21 with 5:25 left. After New York added a field goal to make it 26-21 with 1:49 left, Lawrence drove Jacksonville to the New York 1-yard line with 14 seconds left, but he was unable to get the ball across on 2 tries, sealing the loss and giving them the potential first overall pick this year. Lawrence now has 1 touchdown pass in his last 8 games. It's not a good sign when the most hyped quarterback prospect in years is getting outplayed by Davis Mills. Tough scene. Las Vegas versus Denver. Oh wow, a Broncos game. How exciting. After a scoreless first quarter, Las Vegas got on the board with the grittiest and hardest working touchdown catch from Hunter Renfrow. Denver, however, would reel off 13 unanswered to take a 13-7 lead at halftime. Las Vegas would score the only points of the third on a Peyton Barber touchdown run to go up 14-13 entering the fourth, where Drew Lock was, shockingly, unable to do anything. Las Vegas added a field goal in the fourth to go up 17-13 with 7:35 left, but as I said earlier, Lock sucks and couldn't respond, sealing the much-needed win for the Raiders. I also want to thank Raiders Nation for making sure the Broncos won't ruin our playoffs this year with their boredom. Thank you. Signed, everybody. Philadelphia versus the Giants. As an Eagles fan, I am telling you, if we had somehow lost this game to Jake Fromm, I would have injected myself with 98 marijuanas. Fortunately, it never got to that point as we won this pretty easily 34-10. The game was tied at 3 at halftime before Philly woke up and realized they were playing the fucking Giants. Once this happened, the game was never in doubt. Boston Scott ran for a score to go up 10-3. Philly added the field goal to go up 13-3. Then Jalen Hurts found Devonta Smith for a touchdown to go up 20-3. Then Hurts found Lane Johnson for a touchdown to go up 27-3. Then we got a pick six to go up 34-3 with 10 minutes left. New York then added a sad touchdown to make it 34-10. But who cares? Philly is now 8-7, and we're gonna win the fucking Super Bowl. Prepare your anuses, baby. Chicago versus Seattle. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Seattle was once seen as a dynasty, and now they're out here at 5-10, losing at home to a shitty Matt Nagy Bears team. To be fair though, the Bears were starting Nick Foles, who somehow gets superpowers anytime he's in a clutch situation, which is what this game came down to. But more on that later. Seattle had a 17-7 halftime lead and a 24-14 lead entering the fourth before well-endowed Nicholas did his thing. He led a field goal drive to make it 24-17, then with 2:56 left, led an 80-yard game-winning drive with a touchdown pass to Jimmy Graham and a successful two-point conversion to make it 25-24 Bears with a minute left. The rest of the NFL is lucky nobody has told Foles that it's okay to be good outside of crunch time. With one last possession, Russell Wilson couldn't get anything going in the snow to seal the loss. I bet a nice tall glass of recovery water will help him feel better though. Buffalo versus New England. This game was all about Josh Allen being the best player on the field and New England having no answer for him. Buffalo never punted once, which says a lot. Buffalo took a 7-0 lead on an Allen touchdown pass. New England responded with a Damian Harris touchdown run, but Buffalo ripped off 13 unanswered to take a 27 lead with 9 minutes left in the third. New England cut the lead to 20-14 off of another Harris touchdown run, but Allen led Buffalo on a huge touchdown drive to make it 26-14 entering the fourth. New England cut it to 26-21 again with the third Harris touchdown run, but Allen dropped his balls once again with superhuman throws and runs to get Buffalo into the end zone with 2:30 left in the game to take a 33-21 lead to essentially end the game. Mac Jones has appeared to hit a rookie wall over the last 2 weeks, and New England will officially have to press the panic button if they can't beat the Jaguars next week. Kansas City versus Pittsburgh. I'm just gonna say this right now. We as a society cannot allow Pittsburgh into the playoffs. They are by far the worst team to watch in the entire league, and this game exemplified all of that. Unfortunately for Pittsburgh and the rest of the NFL really, it also appears that Patrick Mahomes is out of his slump. KC took a 7-0 lead on a Clyde Edwards-Helaire touchdown run, then Mahomes went crazy, throwing a touchdown to make it 14-0. KC kicked a field goal to make it 17-0. Mahomes threw another touchdown to make it 23-0 at halftime, then added a third touchdown pass early in the third to make it 30-0. Pittsburgh kicked a sad field goal, trademark, to make it 30-3, but Kansas City responded with back-to-back field goals to make it 36-3 before our friendly neighborhood women respecter Ben Roethlisberger threw a touchdown to make it 36-10 to round out the scoring. Mahomes barely played in the fourth quarter. KC has now won 8 straight games and has a death grip on the 1 seed in the AFC. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Dallas versus Washington. Good lord, what a fucking bloodbath this was. I'll try my best to get through it. Dallas took leads of 7-0 and 14-0 in the first quarter off of 2 Dak touchdown passes, then went up 21-0 on a 40-yard pick six by DeMarcus Lawrence. Washington responded with a touchdown to make it 21-7 early in the second quarter, but Dallas then ripped off 3 straight touchdowns, including 2 more Dak touchdown passes to make it 42-7 at halftime. That's as bad as you can get, right? Wrong. Dallas then had a blocked punt return touchdown in the third to take a 49-7 lead entering the final stanza. Our good buddy Cooper Rush made an appearance and threw a 9-yard touchdown to give Dallas a 56-7 lead before Washington had another garbage time touchdown pass from Kyle Allen to make it a 56-14 final. Folks, I haven't seen something get beaten this badly since my penis last Friday night. What, too personal? Too bad. Miami versus New Orleans. This might have been the worst sporting event I've ever watched from start to finish, and quite honestly, I'm ashamed of myself for doing so. Ian Book might be the worst quarterback of all time. Miami just won their 7th straight game to get over 500, which is impressive, right? Well, not really. Sorry, Dolphins fans, but all you guys have proven over the last 7 games is that you can beat up on shitty quarterbacks, besides Lamar Jackson. This game was so bad I can barely remember anything from it. I know Miami had a pick 6 early on, and I think Tua threw for a tiny little touchdown on the goal line with his noodle arm, maybe? I don't know. In all honesty, I'm sick of talking about this shit show. Let's get to the puppies.